So the anatomy of the consult. So is a consultation paper. Who has a consultation paper? Anyone with a consultation paper? Consultation papers up there. Okay, cool. The anatomy of the consult. So let's talk about it. There are four functions for our consult. There is the friend, the motivator, the educator, the coach, and then there's the friend. I call it the consult sandwich. This weekend I got the chance to go to Impact Speaker School, which was really good. There's a whole lot of things I want to add to my life, but the main thing that I took away from it is one of the biggest things I took away from it is how to do a consultation better and to dissect what I'm doing right. Because I'm already doing this thing, but once again, I don't think about what I'm doing, I just do it. So I have to always think back and like, what am I doing right here and how am I getting good results? So when it comes down to it, when I start a consultation, I start off as a friend. So there's different vocal forms you're going to utilize in each phase. Okay, so I'm going to read this for you guys so you guys can understand more. So when you come off as a friend, the goal is to connect with the person. Okay, so before you start, so you come in, Jaden. Hey, how's it going, buddy?
Yeah.
I'm doing well. So, what brings you in today?
I just want to work out. I want to start losing weight.
Cool, man. Where are you from originally?
I'm from Scarborough.
Scarborough?
Yeah.
Oh, cool, man. Where in Scarborough?
I was in Malvern.
Malvern. Oh, man. I lived in Malvern for a bit. Where in Malvern did you live?
I lived right off of Shepherd and Nielsen.
Okay. You still there? Burner Trail.
Okay.
Yeah. Where were you?
I was Scotney Grove.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, right there in the ghetto.
Oh, yes. It was the ghetto. It still is. But do you see how like I'm trying to build rapport with them, right? My main goal before I do anything else is to find connection with these people. Anybody. Like I'm trying to find connection, some connection. Because I can't find connection, then it doesn't matter what I do next, you're not going to listen to me. So when you're talking to people, your main goal is to find a connection. So now, Alvin, you're from Philippines. Now, the beauty of the Philippines, the Filipinos, there's a lot of Filipinos here. It's one. Two, you're from Qatar. You went to Qatar. There's a lot of people who live there. So you need to find connections in different ways because of the fact that your connections aren't going to be as easy to find within, hey, you're from Scarborough? Oh, man, I lived in Scarborough. Like, not that simple. But at the longer that you stay here and the longer that you're here, you're going to be able to find those simple connections. Now, right now, you want to kind of trace things back. So, like finding someone that perhaps might have immigrated. So your connection is going to be in immigration. Finding someone that's wearing the same shoes as you, wearing Nike shoes, that's a connection, right? Finding places like your watch, really nice watch. What is that? Garmin, the running watch.
Yeah.
Finding someone else that's wearing a Garmin watch, right? So like these are places where you can find connection. But the main thing here is to find connection, build rapport, share stories. So when we're looking at being in this place right here, where we're like, okay, how do we now have the consultation or looking at building connection? We want to share a story. So if I also share a story with you, it also brings down defense. So if I was like, okay, Jaden, you're from Scarborough. When did you move?
2011.
2011?
Yeah.
Okay. 2011. Okay. All right. And how long did you live there for?
My
Whole life? Oh, man. It's definitely one of those things. I remember when I used to go in Scarborough, one of the biggest things that ever happened to me was falling off my bike. I remember this. I was riding a bike to school with my friends. It was summertime. We were all riding a bike. And I'm riding a bike down the hill right near Cedarbrae. So I'm going down that hill, and I'm riding. And, you know, like you, as a kid, just weaving through in and out of people. And I'm weaving, and this guy's not weaving. And I go left, he goes left. I go right, he goes right. And he's standing there. And I'm like, bro, like, move out the way. And as I'm going down the hill, we hit each other. And yeah, I want to say that's one of my memories of Scarborough. So share a story to build rapport. That story helps disarm you, but it also makes me less intimidating. Makes you feel like, oh, this guy's human. I have tons of stories. So think about stories that you have that you can always share quickly. Quick stories, right? That are easy to go. Motivator. So now, when you get into the nitty gritty of the consultation, you open it up and you start going to the motivation mode. So the goal of the motivator is to inspire. Your rate of speech is going to start going up. You're going to start talking quicker. You're going to start talking like this. Apparently, I'm really good at motivating. The reason why, I don't know. But the flow of the speech is going to start going where you're always talking and you're talking faster, right? You're asking questions, but then you're asking questions again and you're asking more questions. So the four W's. This is getting the why. So the four W's are who, what, where, when. If you can get those questions out of people, you're more likely to get the why. The why is not what you're searching for in terms of asking, so Alvin, why do you want to lose weight?
Feel better?
So why do you want to feel better?
To move more freely. Not
Why do you want to move more freely? See how it gets annoying when you're just asking why? So now, if I was like, okay, Alvin, so you said you want to move better, said you want to lose weight. Who's the first person that's going to notice that you lost your weight?
my family.
Your family? Who particular in your family are you looking at that you think that like this is the person that's going to notice? Who do you want to notice?
My wife.
Your wife? Okay, cool. Now, what are you guys going to be doing when you lose that weight?
Buy new clothes.
Buy new clothes? Okay. Where do you want to go buy new clothes?
Any sports store.
Any sports store? Okay, where are you going to wear those new clothes?
Outside to work out.
Okay.
Feel better.
Feel better? Now, you said you like running. Would you wear those new clothes running?
Yeah.
Okay. When's the next time you're going to be going for a long run where you can wear those new clothes with your wife?
Probably the summer when the snow is not here.
It hasn't even snowed yet, bro.
I know.
It gets worse. But you see how, like, instead of asking the why, I'm getting more information from him. So I found out Alvin has a wife. I know that he ran a marathon. I know that he wants to get to the point where he can run with her outside with his new clothes. I could ask more about what kind of clothes, and then in terms of he wants to go running in the summertime. So I have a picture that's painted. So now when we talk about weight loss, it's not about weight loss. It's about his new clothes running with his wife, that experience. When you're a motivator, that's what you're trying to figure out. Why? So who, what, where, when. Always think about those questions. Write it down at the top of your consultation form, right? 4 W's. And then have it there. So when you're going and you're having a discussion with somebody, you're thinking about that. So it's like who, what, where, when. Okay. So you went to the consultation, you asked all the questions, you feel they're motivated, they feel gung-ho to accomplish their goals. Then you become the educator. The educator is when you're on the floor. You now take them outside. What are you educating them on? Well, you're going to empower them, you're going to show value, and you're going to show them what they can do, what value you're going to show. All right, cool, Cam. So my goal as an educator is to inform and give new insight. So let's say, for instance, you're squatting, and I'm like, okay, let me take a look at your squat. Oh, you know what? Here's how we're going to correct that. Boop, 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 boop. Here's what you're going to do. Dut, 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 dut. Like, I'm not asking you what you're going to do. I'm telling you, here's what's going to end up happening. The educator is more direct. They slow down their rate of speech, so it kind of starts talking like this. And the main goal of the educator is to educate, period. They go into the what. So if you connected with them, you got their why, now you got into the what. What is it they're going to do to get them to lose that weight, to get them to be stronger? This is what you're going to be doing. You're going to be working out. You're going to be eating properly, right? So the nutritional and habit change questionnaire, that's also there. So when you go into there, you're also going to be having that discussion with them, right? From there, when you're done off the floor, right, you're going to take them back into the back, and now you become the coach. The coach is more direct and assertive. All right, here's what you're going to need, Cam. For you to get started with training, we're going to talk about behavior change first. When you talk about behavior change, there's pre-contemplation, there's contemplation, here's preparation, here's action, here's the relapse possibilities that can happen in your life. My goal is to help you from relapsing and keep you in action. The way I'm going to do that is by utilizing skill acquisition, acceleration, and specialization training to help get you there. This is what's known as periodization. All periodization is the formulation of training, organized training. Okay. So our first phase in scale acquisition is da 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 da. Our second phase is da 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 da. Our third phase is da 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 da. And at that point, I'm being direct and assertive towards you. I'm not asking you what do you think in terms of like I'm asking you what you think, but I'm not asking you to give me input because this is when I become the expert and the coach. And as your coach, I'm going to help get you there. So I become more direct at that point, right? That's the biggest thing in terms of that phase right there. Then from there, I have to become your friend again. All right, so Cam, for you to get started with training, it's going to be $396. Let's get started. And in overcoming objections, I'm not a motivator. I'm not an educator. I'm your friend. Because you said you wanted to do all this, right? Friends care for each other. Think about the friend who actually cared for you. Or if you're the friend who actually cares for people, think about yourself. And now think about that person who, I'll give you an example. Someone drinks a little bit too much, right? And you have two choices as a friend. Your friend's about to drive. What are you going to do? Are you going to let them drive? Or are you going to say, stop, I'll drive you home? Do you care about your friend? When it comes to implications of life or death, we are so good at it. When it comes to this, when we're meeting absolute strangers and we're not thinking about life and death, we don't become good. Like, oh, well, they don't want to buy anything, so it's okay. And they said it's too expensive. Pause. That's the equivalent of someone telling you, I'm okay to drive. I'm good. I know what I'm doing. I've driven forever, but you're intoxicated. It's okay. You don't think like that. That's how we got to think about when it was a caring conversation. Hey, Alvin, you know what, man? Totally understand that this is expensive. That's what you said. But this is an investment into your life, right? This investment back into your life is going to help you be able to run with your wife. It's going to help you be able to go for those runs that you want in the summertime with those new clothes that you wanted, right? And you said that's a 10 out of 10 importance. So let's get started on it. When you go back into the friend, you're utilizing that connection that you had in the beginning. That's why you share stories, right? They always say friends break bread. So you get to break bread with each other, you become friends, because that's where conversation happens. That's when you get to see people eating habits, and you're like, oh, this guy orders a lot of sushi, right? And you look at it, and you're like, oh man, like, and he doesn't finish it all, right? But you have that thing of like appreciation of that memory, right? The main thing about a friend is that they keep the conversation going and it's less formal. So it's not about the script and overcoming objections and being like, robot, all right, Alvin, it is going to be $396. All right, fixed response. It's too expensive. That's not what's happening. It's a natural conversation that I'm having with my friend. Jaden, bro, you said you want to dunk. Okay, so like I'm giving you a solution here. So like, what's really stopping you right now? Right? That's why when you memorize a script, you now are making it the way you say it. So that way, as someone's friend, you can now say it. We call it code switching. Depending on who I'm talking to is how I'm going to talk. Right? Why? Because I need to learn. I need to be all things to everybody. So I'll meet a guy who hasn't been going to the gym, but he's from the hood. I'm not going to be talking about I'm like, yo, bro, you said you wanted to lose this weight, right? Yeah. All right. Why are you being a waste you? Come on, man. Right? But because he understands that. I got to talk a certain way to certain people so they can understand these things. So our main goal in the consultation is we're going through this. Now, here's where a lot of trainers get stuck. A lot of trainers get stuck in one phase. So some people just get stuck at being a friend. Their goal is to connect, build rapport, share stories. Some people will only buy off of this one thing. But you're going to have a lot of people who are going to say, nah, it's okay. No, I don't want to say, because you know what the downfall of being a friend is? When you have to hold your friend accountable, you don't. when you actually have to hold your friend accountable, right? And I use the example of, let's say, for instance, you have someone that is training for free, family member. You're doing them a favor. Now you have to hold them accountable. Hey, auntie, you can't be having that cake. They used to slap your behind. I'm going to eat this cake. Now you got to hold them accountable. It's very difficult because it's hard because you have the connection, you have the rapport, you have shared stories, but you don't have anything else. Some people get people started on being motivation, right? This is something I'm really good at. Now, the issue with being stuck in the motivator role is also still accountability. You're not going to hold anyone accountable because you just want people to be motivated. You're talking really fast, like, let's go! And you're trying to transfer that energy, but the issue is now when your client leaves, you're not there to be that ball of energy. So some people are going to say yes to you just being a motivator, but now what happens is when they get started, they're not going to continue because you're not there all the time. Educator. So you empower and you show value. Some people are going to get started just because you have a lot of knowledge and you can educate them. So your heart rate is not, you have to keep that thing down. Okay? We're going to get you to wear that Garmin watch. We're going to get you to wear a heart rate monitor. I can get you to eat the right nutrition. So we're going to get your fats, proteins, and carbohydrates, your macronutrients on dial, okay? So that's the educator. So it's like, oh, my trainer knows so much. Once again, what ends up happening if you get stuck over here is my trainer knows so much, but I'm not motivated by them. And I feel like I can't connect with them. And then coach is probably the worst thing to get stuck in because a lot of people need coaches, but a lot of people don't want coaches. Coaches are the people that shift blame. And what I mean by shifting blame, it's like, hey, what are we going to do? You said you're going to do this. You said you're going to do that. When are we going to get that done? Coaches are accountability. So direct, assertive. People like that, but a lot of people don't like that. So a coach without a friend, really hard. Because a coach is someone that's direct and assertive. Without the connection, in this current world we live in, without connection, a coach just seems as toxic. Right? Imagine Bobby Knight. You guys heard of Bobby Knight? Okay, Bobby Knight. For people that don't know Bobby Knight. Bobby Knight used to be the coach of Indiana State basketball team. Bobby Knight was a coach's coach. Bobby Knight is one of the most winningest coaches in college basketball. Bobby Knight used to throw chairs on the court. He had a temper. He would get the chair. What are you guys doing out there, right? Why? Because he was direct, he was assertive. He ran practice, he showed up late, don't even show up. 1970s. Different, but the coach without the connection. So Bobby Knight in today's age wouldn't be a good coach because he's a coach without connection. And he won, but you can't win today because of the way people are. We are about connection. So that's why we have the connection at the top, connection at the bottom. And then we got to be all things to everybody. So we got to move to the motivator. We got to move to the educator. We have to move to the coach. And then we have to move back to the friend. Hey, what are you doing this weekend? Oh, I'm doing this. Oh, that's cool. Oh, you're eating cake. Whoa. Like, see how, like, friendship, coach. Well, you know what? Here's all the dietary nutritions of cake. So what else could we possibly eat? Going to the motivator. I could probably have fruit. I think that's a good idea. So you're going to eat fruit this weekend? Right? So you go through it all, and you're utilizing it all different times. That's not only the anatomy of the consultation, that's the anatomy of your conversations with your clients. You are all these things. But now, if you can get really good at all these things, what happens is you'll have a lot of clients. You'll have a lot of satisfied clients. And clients will want to continue training with you. If you're only good at one of these things or two of these things, but you forsake everything else, you're going to have people that want to train with you, but you're going to have some people that don't like you. That don't like you. You're going to have more people that don't like you because they only see one version of you. And this is what I mean. I was really good at being the motivator, but I forsake my educator and I was good as a motivator and coach, but I didn't want any connection. So I had to get to the point where I'm like, how do I get better at this? Well, I need to get connection. How do I get connection? Start asking more questions. Start finding rapport. I purposely find rapport with every single person. So that way, I have the connection. So now I can be a motivator, educator, and coach. I try and find rapport. You guys have all had experiences with me. What do? First thing I do is try and find rapport with you. Because I can't find rapport with you. Trust me, it's not going to be good. It's like, oh, we got no rapport. There's nothing to talk about. Right? I don't want to be always talking about motivating you. Let's go. Come on. How was your weekend? What did you do? How you went out with your daughters? Tell me more about that. Right? Like, I want to hear about that stuff because that's the connection. Make sense? So in your consultation, understanding these vocal speaking forms. So we're into it again, just so you guys have it. A friend, main goal is to connect. They're more melodic. They have body language. They're more relaxed. The body language is more relaxed. They're less formal. A motivator is, the goal is inspire. They talk at a louder tone, and they're melodic as well, but their rate of speech is faster. An educator, their goal is to inform, give new insight. The rate of speech slows down. They talk with more pauses. And they have a matter-of-fact tone. And there's less movement. There's less of, they don't move around a lot. And then the coach, their goal is to guide and provide, to give instruction, and they have very strong body language. They're very direct and very punchy. And what I mean, like direct and punchy, is like they don't mix words. Coaches are, that's why Bobby Knight, throw that chair out there, right? That's the sandwich you want to make with every single consultation. Any questions?